So we're going into our fitness video section where we talk about training, and you know, I thought it would be just the best idea to bring a guy who has some of the best arms out there, professional physique competitor. IFBB Pro Chris Freeman, good friend of mine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to Chris a little bit about how he built these incredible arms, hopefully give you guys some tips out there. Now, Chris, as we get started here, did you always have good arms, man, or was this just naturally?
I just want to say I appreciate the compliment, man. Making me feel good.
Were they always that great, or did you just all of a sudden wake up one day and they look like this?
I did put a lot of work into arms growing up. That was one of the things that I wanted to kind of make big. You know, when you're young, you always want big arms. You just think it looks cool. Later on, I kind of began to develop like the rest of my physique. And I would say my mom played a part in that with genetics.
Really?
She had some solid arms.
How about that? Now, how many times a week do you train arms typically?
Usually, it just depends on what my split's like, but a lot of times they'll end up being twice a week. Actually, it's more like once a week. My goals right now are kind of to build up more of my chest and my shoulders, but I definitely put in work when I do.
And you know, you're talking to somebody, you're listening to somebody who, this is what he does, not professionally for a living. He actually has a real job. He's a pharmacist, but at the same time, he's trying to build his body in the best proportions possible for getting on stage and competing against some of the best physiques of the world. So it's a little bit different, but for the normal guy, I mean, the stuff that he can teach us right now in terms of how to build muscle and how to make our arms look really good, it's just gonna be great. So I'm gonna let Chris get into his bicep and tricep workout and let you guys follow along. We appreciate him letting us go through it. So let's get started, man.
Sounds good. So my first exercise is going to be hammer curls. I usually like to start off with working out the brachialis, the forearms. It tires them out first, so whenever I go into biceps, I'm not using them as much anymore. I can really focus on my biceps. Plus, I usually like to start my workout off with something a little bit heavy, and then kind of gradually work into more and squeezing blood into the muscle. So this first one is just going to be some hammer curls with dumbbells. So I usually do about 3 working sets, the first one being more of a warm-up set, really focusing on squeezing blood into that muscle. So when you're coming up at the top, really give a good squeeze, and then let it down at a good pace as well, about 1 second up, 1 second down. All right, so this next exercise is going to be tricep pull down. It's going to be with a straight bar, really kind of focusing on the outer head of the tricep. Get a good push at the bottom, come up almost all the way to where you're about 90 degrees, and then extend back down. Again, this is all about getting blood into the muscle. That's really what I find helps your arms grow. Again, I stick to the 3 working sets on this. First one being kind of a warm-up, really good extension. Really feel the muscle when you're doing this. Really aim on the outer head. Kind of point the elbows out a little bit as you're pushing down, so you really nail that outer head. Okay, so this next one is going to be seated preacher curl. Again, still stick to my 3 sets on this. Do about 12 reps. Sometimes on that last set, I'll do a little bit heavier weight, kind of drop the reps down in between 8 and 10. All right, so this next one is going to be overhead rope extensions. This is really good, I feel, for the inner tricep. Let's get started. Same thing. We're going to be doing 3 sets, 12 reps on this. So this one's really good for the inner triceps. Also find it helps with the elbows. A lot of times with these overhead tricep extensions, especially when you're using free weight, it can kind of put some wear and tear on the elbows. I think this is a little bit more fluid. It feels a lot better on the joints. On this one, you want to go all the way up at the top. You don't want to straighten out the arms to where it's almost straightened, but just maybe like about 1 inch or 2 away from being straightened out. Just really focus on keeping stress the whole way through on the tricep. All right, so this next one, these are gonna be drag curls. This is a great compound movement for the biceps. You just really feel the whole entire bicep working on this one. This one you want to do a little bit lighter weight than what you're going to do with normal curls. It just one, you're already tired at the end of the workout, and two, just the movement is a little bit different of a movement. This one I go with a little bit higher reps, maybe 12 to 15 to really kind of feel the muscles like burn out. Do about 3 sets also. For this one, you really want to get a good squeeze at the top, almost pause for a second. All right, so my final exercise for this workout is gonna end with dips. Another great compound movement to end the workout with. You're gonna be hitting the outer, the inner tricep on this. Even get a little bit of the chest a little bit, as well as the shoulders. But primarily the triceps, depending on how you angle your arms. So check this out. Okay, on this one, you wanna do about 3 sets of 15. You want to make sure you keep those elbows tight. That's going to focus more on the triceps. And then doing that, go down about to where your arms make a 90-degree angle and come back up. Again, you don't want to straighten your arms out completely. Keep them slightly bent so you're not putting as much stress on the elbows.